Hey everybody, my name is Dave Sundstrom and I run a channel, or I have a channel here on YouTube where we talk about music, movies, TV from decades gone by. So you can imagine how sad I was to hear yesterday on July 7th, 2022, that we had lost James Caan, really a beloved actor whose work, when I think about the 60s, the 70s, 80s, 90s, even the new into the 2000s, with a movie like Elf, where he was introduced to a whole new generation of fans. We lost him on July 6th. We actually there's a tweet that we got from the Caan family. Let me share that really quickly. It says, "It is with great sadness that we inform you of the passing of Jimmy on the evening of July 6th. The family appreciates the outpouring of love and heartfelt condolences and asks that you continue to respect their privacy during this difficult time." So it doesn't look like we're going to get any more information regarding the nature of his passing at this time. And they're asking for privacy, and that is certainly within their rights, and we as fans, I'm certain, will do our best to honor that request. But what I thought we would do here today is, remember the work of the man. Remember all of the great gifts that he gave us. So last night, let me go ahead and share my screen here. There we go. And I'll make this screen a little bit bigger. Last night I posted this on my YouTube community channel. I just posted, "Rest in peace, James Caan." When I found out about this, it caught me completely by surprise. And we'll go through some of these comments here that are on this page, but the picture I posted was of one of my all-time favorite James Caan performances, that of the Brian Song television movie. I think it aired in 1970 or 71, which was the story of the friendship between Brian Piccolo and Gale Sayers when they were on the Chicago Bears. And it's a tragic story in that Brian Piccolo has cancer, and at this point, I don't think I'm spoiling it for anyone, in that he does not win that battle. But it's a great performance by James Caan as Brian Piccolo, and Billy D. Williams as Gale Sayers. So that's the picture that I posted, and there were a ton of great comments from folks in my YouTube community around their memories and their respect, honoring this great actor. But let's do this. Let's go ahead and let's go off of that for a moment here, and let's just look at the comments that we're getting in the chat right now. Texas Rocks Hill Country says, "I remember him best on Brian's Song." I remember him first on Brian's Song, although there were apparently he'd been doing movies and TV work for years. Hey, Danny. Danny was actually the individual who made me aware of James passing yesterday. He sent me a quick text message, so thank you, and greetings to you in South Carolina, my friend. Sparky dropped a super chat. Thank you very much for the support, Sparky. I do appreciate that. And he says, "Goodbye, Sonny," a reference to perhaps the role that he is best known for, which is Sonny Corleone. A role that he did so well that I think a lot of people truly believe that he was Italian. Let's see. Danny says, "Dave, this is unexpected." Yeah, you know what? I didn't know what to do. Sometimes I put together full-fledged videos and publish them. And in this case, I didn't know if sometimes I just am not up for it. The news is tough, and I don't have the time to go put together a full-fledged video. And sometimes I'd rather just kind of visit with all of you and talk with all of you and remember the actor this way. Tom Lemery says his son, yes, Scott Caan, was in the Hawaii Five-0 reboot. Another super chat from Sparky. Thank you so much again, Sparky, for the support. I appreciate that. It says, James was awesome in Misery. He certainly was, along with Kathy Bates. Excellent performance by both of those actors. I'm going to keep going here. We got Supernova, who says, so sad for the loss of a great actor. His role in a racer with Arnold Schwarzenegger is one of his distinguished roles. May he rest in peace. Yes, indeed. Well said, Supernova. Margaret Jones says, I had just finished watching Misery on TV yesterday when I heard this. Oh, how ironic, huh? And Danny Staten over there in South Carolina says, I remember him best for Misery. Great role. But do you remember him in Rollerball, perchance? Aztec, well, here we go. Aztec 21 says, my first introduction to Mr. Caan is and always will be as Jonathan from Rollerball. Hey, folks, I'm going to read more comments in just a moment. But what I want to do is I want to go back and share that tweet one more time. We got this tweet yesterday on July 7th, and this was coming directly from James Caan's official Twitter profile. Let me share that real quick. It says, it is with great sadness that we inform you of the passing of Jimmy on the evening of July 6th. The family appreciates the outpouring of love and heartfelt condolences and asks that you continue to respect their privacy during this difficult time. So this was at 11:02 a.m. yesterday, July 7th, learning about his passing on the prior day. So let's go back to some of these comments. I want to keep going on the comments. Shannon Burns says, hi. Hey, Shannon. Yeah, it's good to see you in the chat, but tough news in that we've all are just learning about the passing of beloved actor James Caan. Yeah, lots of folks loved him in Mystery. What a great movie that was, right? Travis Hinton dropped his super sticker. Thank you so much for the support, Travis. Truly appreciate you being a member of the community. And he says, Rollerball. Yeah, Rollerball. Man, what a great movie. One of my favorites. The reboot just could not hold a candle to the original with James Caan. Hey, Mark, how are you doing? I think you're trying to say RIP there, and I totally get it. Rollerball, great film. Totally agree. And Kamari Christie says, legend. Absolutely. He certainly was a legend, and definitely we're going to miss him. Dick Shin says, Mississippi and El Dorado. Right. Going back to one of his earlier movie appearances. And here's one of mine. I love him as Buddy's father, his workaholic father in the movie Elf, which I think was early 2000s. 2003, 2004, somewhere around there. Great movie. One of our favorites that we watch every year around the holidays. Tom Lemery says, I think he was on TV in a show called Las Vegas. I do believe you are correct with that. Kamari Christie says, Misery. Yeah, great film. And The Godfather. Yeah, Sonny Corleone. Like I said, he did such a great job that lots of people thought that he was Italian in his descent. But he was a Jewish boy from New York. Yes, there we go, Mark. You got it in. Rest in peace, James. Ron Nurse says, hey, Dave, good afternoon from London, Ontario, Canada. Yeah, good afternoon to you, Ron. And we're just here sharing memories of the great James Caan, who left us a couple of days ago, and we became aware of it yesterday through a tweet that came in through his official Twitter profile, and it was obviously a family member who was letting us know. Danny Staten says he was in Bulletproof with the goof Adam Sandler for sure. And Supernova says James Caan and Barbara Streisand made a great movie together. They sure did. I'm going to keep reading here. Yellowstone Loyal says Mr. Caan was one of my favorite actors. One of my favorite movies he was in was Called the Thief. I don't know if I remember. It was called Thief, right? I think. And I remember that one, yeah. William Taylor says he was an awesome actor. I loved his performance in Brian's Song. I do too. I love that movie, and I thought he and Billy D. Williams just did such marvelous work. It's a television movie, right? But sometimes even that small screen format was better for the story that it was telling, quite possibly. Hey, it's BK, Barry King on the air. He'll be live tomorrow morning on his radio broadcast that he does from 8 to 10, I want to say, Eastern time. And Barry says, rest in peace, James Caan. My first exposure was Rollerball. I think I saw Rollerball after seeing Brian's Song. I caught Brian's Song when it debuted on ABC as a TV movie. He certainly will be missed. What a talent. He certainly will, Barry. Hey, folks, I think you can catch BK on the air on the TuneIn app if you're interested in listening to Barry. I'll tell you what, he has a fantastic show that he later turns into a podcast, and definitely fun to listen to if you love the retro nostalgia stuff. Yes, Danny, thank you for helping me here. I knew it was just called Thief. He was in this movie called Thief back in 81. It was an awesome movie. I remember that. Conversation. I'm not sure if we're talking about Brian's Song. It certainly was a tearjerker. Sean M says so many great roles. Absolutely. Yeah. Sherry Hinton says, Dave, thank you so much for talking about James. I watched Thief again last night. That's awesome. I plan on, I'm going to watch Elf later on as we get closer to the holidays. What should I watch? What movie should I watch? Maybe Misery. It was a great performance. Sparky, again with the super chat. Thank you so much for the support. I truly believe it. He says, hard to believe, or they say, hard to believe Brian's Song was a TV movie. Yeah, you know what? It's remembered so fondly, and it really did have such an impact on us in terms of as participants in that storytelling process. It is hard to believe it was a TV movie, but the more I think about it, maybe that more intimate format of a television movie versus that epic scope of a big screen movie. Maybe Brian's Song was meant to be a TV movie. Again, thank you for the super chat, Sparky. Dr. Smith X says cheers. And Yellowstone Loyal says, Sherry, what channel? Probably talking about watching Misery. Mirogard Hissy Fit. Hey, how's it going, Mirogard? Says, freebie in the bean and get smart. Both TV series and the movies are my favorite James Caan roles. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. And I think that is all the comments I see right at the moment. I am looking for more comments. This is your opportunity to share your memories of James Caan, the great James Caan. Here we go. I'm getting some updates now. Let's see. Danny Staten says, wasn't he the bad guy in Eraser? Yeah, with Arnold. He sure was. And Kevin Campbell says, the Killer Elite. And Sherry Hinton says that you can watch Thief on Pluto. Maybe that's what I'll watch. I've got to watch something this weekend just to celebrate this man, right? This great, beloved actor. I could go back to watch him as Sonny Corleone in Godfather. Oh, okay. So folks that are just joining me, let's do this. Let's take that off the screen here for a second, and we'll get back to the comments in a minute. So please continue to leave your comments, your memories, your favorite James Caan films. Please do that. But what I'm going to do right now is let's swing on over to Twitter, because I want to update folks that might just be arriving. Let's do this. And I want to go to a different screen here, if I can. Hang on a second. Let's take that one off the screen for a minute. Try it again here. There we go. This is going to be better. Much better. It is with great sadness. This came from yesterday from James Caan's official Twitter profile. It says, "It is with great sadness that we inform you of the passing of Jimmy on the evening of July 6th. The family appreciates the outpouring of love and heartfelt condolences and asks that you continue to respect their privacy during this difficult time." So at this point, we have no details regarding the nature of his passing, and they're asking for privacy, which we can certainly honor and respect. Well, let's take a look at some of the comments here. I'm going to go back here. Let's just type in James Caan. Find my search. While we're waiting for that, let me get a few comments. Get back to a few comments on the YouTube page here. Sunny, welcome to the live stream, says, of course, Sunny. And also Billy Rolls in Funny Lady. That's the movie with Barbara Streisand. Always liked him. And Harry Lime says, Freebie and the Bean from 74. SMB3, Super Mario Bros. 3 says, rest in peace, James Caan, 82 years of age. Anthony Danes says, an actor's actor is a man's man. Loved his movie Thief, The Godfather, Brian's Song, City of Ghosts, The Way of the Gun. All great movies. Oh, Alien Nation. J.P. Borsaw points out that he was, in the movie version of Alien Nation. Great movie. And Good Owner says, I remember him in an early role terrorizing Olivia de Havilland in Lady in a Cage. Somewhere around 64, 65. Quite memorable, will be missed. Supernova says, in Misery, James Caan may stand for the author of Misery, the novel. He sure represents the genius. Yeah, for sure. Danny points out that there was an assassination in Japan. Former Prime Minister Shibu Abe passed away yesterday due to wounds that he experienced. He was shot in the back. Charles Pitts Jr. says he was one of those actors that made watching movies fun. Brian's Song, like many others my age, blew me away. Yeah, for sure. It's sad how we lose little chunks of our past when actors and actresses pass away. And as we get older, right, we see more of this happening. And Howard Harlib says, The Godfather. Yes. Yeah. Gianni Russo. All right, let's do this. I think I'm caught up on comments. Let's look at Twitter here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. See if we can get to a bigger. There we go. That looks about right. Let's see. Joey points out James Caan and Ray Liotta within 3 months of each other. Here's a message from Scott Caan, James's son. My dad never told me he loved me, and consequently, I told Scott I loved him every other minute. That's what James Caan said. I know Scott certainly feels loved by his father. The official Godfather profile on Twitter, of course, posted something, a picture of him as Sonny Corleone. Kathy Bates, I'm heartbroken to hear of Jimmy's passing. Shocked, no words, thank you, Jimmy. And Adam Sandler, who did star in a movie with James Caan, Bulletproof, says, loved him very much, always wanted to be like him, so happy I got to know him, never ever stopped laughing when I was around that man. His movies were the best. We will all miss him terribly, thinking of his family and sending my love. Oh, what a great post from Sandler. Schwarzenegger says, Caan was an icon, a legend. He inspired everyone who has ever been in front of a camera. I was lucky to work with him and see his talent and his fan fantastic sense of humor. All right, we've got more comments here, but I'm going to go back to the comments that are happening right now live on this live stream. So let me do that. We'll go back to Twitter in a bit. Charlie Jordan says he was great on The Simpsons. I don't remember him doing a voice on The Simpsons, but I don't doubt that. Don't doubt that. Another super chat from Sparky. Wow, thank you for your support. I appreciate that. It means the world to me as a YouTube creator. Sparky says James Caan often played tough guys. He lamented the fact that he was cast against actors who were big, tough guys. So James would end up pretty beat up after filming, even though those fights were fake. That's a great comment. Thank you so much, Sparky, again for the comment and for the support. Howard Harleb says it's a good movie. The Sons of Katie Elder with Dean Martin, James Caan, John Wayne. Classic movie. And Keith H. says, I was 10 or 11 when Brian's song came out. My older brothers were in football, so I knew what was going to happen, but no. That was a tough movie because we all knew the outcome, and the performances were so good. I think we really felt like we were experiencing it along with Brian and Gail. Link Bond 442 says no. Although if you're going to pass away, that's the way to go. But yeah, Larry Storch, I believe he was 99 years old, if I remember correctly. From F Troop fame, I enjoyed him on Saturday mornings on the Real Ghostbusters on CBS during the 70s. Sad to hear that he has passed away. He was quite active on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for letting me know, Link Bond 442. Gloria Lindquist. I'm not sure. I understand that comment. I'm sure I should, but I don't. So we'll keep moving. Dark Solara says, a great little gem, but sometimes gets lost in the mix. Early 70s, The Killer Elite. Yes, great memories of that growing up in the 70s here with my cousin. Thank you, James. Rest in peace. Superfan Jason Goldtrip says, The Godfather is too heavy-handed for me. Elf is one of my favorite films. That's the thing about Caan, right? He made so many different types of movies, and he was always kind of a man's man, a tough guy. But then he goes and makes a movie like Elf, which is just a wonderful, kind, and gentle film. 98. Okay, I knew he was nearing 100. Thank you so much for that, Sonny. All right, I think we're caught up on comments here, so we'll swing back over to Twitter. But first, let me again share the tweet that we all received yesterday. The news that came on July 7th, that the prior day that James Caan had passed away. It says, it is with great sadness that we inform you of the passing of Jimmy on the evening of July 6th. The family appreciates the outpouring of love and heartfelt condolences and asks that you continue to respect their privacy during this difficult time. So no real understanding regarding the nature of his passing, but we do know that he's left us with many wonderful gifts, which we're talking about today. Let me go back to that screen over on Twitter, because I was just about to get to Zoe Deschanel's comment. She says she worked with him, of course, on Elf, and she says, James Caan was a true delight. My favorite memory of him was shooting part of a montage for the end of Elf, and he started playing piano. He played beautifully. I sang and he played, and I was just astonished by his talent. How awesome is that? It's a nice little shot from the movie Elf. And here's a comment from Stephen King, who says, very sorry to hear about the passing of James Caan, who gave an Oscar-worthy performance as Paul Sheldon in Rob Reiner's exceptional version of Misery. And Rob Reiner says, so sorry to hear the news. I loved working with him. The only Jew I knew who could calf rope with the best of them. Love to the family. It's funny he points out James Caan's Jewish heritage, because, like I said, he was so good as Sonny Corleone. The people thought he was Italian. Let's see. Sharon Stone says, my second acting job was with James Caan. He was so much fun. From the moment on, he always had my back. Jimmy, I treasure every second. Go with God. What a nice comment. All right. There's the actual tweet that we got. I'm going to do one more, and then we'll get back to your comments. And then maybe we'll go back to Twitter again in a bit. Jennifer Tilley says, James Caan always had the funniest stories. Once he told me Coppola had the habit of grabbing food off his plate and eating it. So one day he made a sandwich with very hot jalapenos between two pieces of buttered bread and waited outside Coppola's Airstream. That is hilarious and exactly the way we should remember this man. He left us with so many great gifts. And you can see from the comments that are coming through on Twitter just how loved he was, not just as an actor, but as a human being by those colleagues that worked with him on all these great films. All right, let me go ahead and take that off the screen here for a minute. Oh, I love that comment, though. That Jennifer Tilley comment. That cracked me up. Let's see what you guys are saying here. We've got some new chats. Some new comments in the chat. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Supernova says, James Caan spoke the language men must hear. He understood human nature so well, I think that's what made him a real star. Well said. Let's see. Oh, you're again talking about Larry Storch, 99. That's what I thought. I thought he had turned 99. Sad to hear that he has passed away as well in his sleep this morning. Devlin says, they played Brian's song in my grammar school. The class cried. I cried. I watched it when it debuted on ABC way back in 71, somewhere around there as a TV movie. And I was just a little guy. I was 9 or 10 years old, and I remember weeping uncontrollably at the end of that movie. The music in that movie is pretty phenomenal, and it really has a way of impacting the emotions as well. And Caan's performance, Billy D. Williams' performance, so good. Keith H. says El Dorado in 66. He was in over 60 movies. Wow. Over 60 gifts he has left us. Drago1 says The Godfather, Misery, and Alienation. Great movies. Wow. Devlin says, saw a recent interview from him about wanting better roles. I get that as an actor of his caliber. As you get older, the roles don't always come your way. But he certainly was. Everything he touched was pretty darn good. LinkBond442 says, James starred in the 65 stock car movie Redline 7000. Thank you. And Crazy Cat Woman says he was so awesome in Las Vegas. That was the TV show that he was in. Let's see. Going back to the Jennifer Tilley comment, Danny Staten says, I had a schoolboy crush on Jennifer Tilley. Yeah. She's a cutie. Films 5555 says, at Devlin, my elementary school teacher also showed our class Brian's song. I have been a fan ever since. Oh, here's another fun movie that he was in. Honeymoon in Vegas with Nick Cage and Sarah Jessica Parker. Let's see. Jerry Gillespie says, loved these two movies he was in. Funny movie and Mel Brooks' silent movie. Another great one. And John Doe says, dang. I'll even say, I'm saying it, damn, because it's worth saying today. The greats are leaving. Sonny says, Sonny and Frito both gone. Yep. All right, we are caught up on comments. Folks, let me bring everybody up to speed. Bringing folks up to speed, James Caan has passed away. We received that news yesterday via tweet. His family say that he passed away on the 6th and are asking for support and privacy. Heading on over to Twitter for a minute more. Let's read a few more comments. Rex Chapman says, in 1971, ABC, it was 71. I couldn't remember quite. 71, ABC's Movie of the Week, Brian's Song, aired starring Billy D. Williams and James Caan, based on the real-life relationship between teammates Brian Piccolo and Gil Sayers. Rest in peace, James Caan. I'm just going to watch this for a second here. So cool. That's what I love about Twitter and things like that. Great movie. Great movie. So Jeff Zhang says, I will miss James Caan's tweets. Here's a tweet from James way back, a few years back, 2 years ago. He says, I'm convinced that the Angry Birds game cheats sometimes. I cleared a level using only one bird and got 1 star. Give me 3 stars. NPR says James Caan was a playful kid from the Bronx, the son of a German Jewish immigrants who grew up to play tough guys, sailors, footballs, and gangsters. He died today at 82, and actually he died on the 6th. Now known as one of the most recognizable screen actors of his era. Peter Segal says John Turturro, of course, is the undisputed master of Italians who play Jews, but has any Jew done a better job of playing an Italian? I think not. And Variety magazine goes on to say, regarding the role of Sonny Corleone in The Godfather, it not only established Caan as a great actor, but marked him as a mythological presence. Wow. That's well said. Sometimes I wish I would come up with those kind of things to say. But let's get back to your comments here. And we'll go back to Twitter maybe in a minute or two more. We've got some time. Okay, let's see. Sean Innes says The Godfather, Freebie and the Bean, Brian's Song, Misery, Thief, The Killer Elite. Thank you for sharing your favorite James Caan movies. And that's what I'm asking folks to do. Share your favorite movies. Share your favorite memories. Share things that you remember about this man. You know, he lived 82 years on this earth, and much of that time he was making movies, leaving us these gifts that will live on for in perpetuity, right? So let's talk about him. Let's celebrate his life. Let's remember the great James Caan. Michael Staunton says hello from Ireland. Hey, Michael, how's it going today? And J.P. Barsaw says, man, Larry Storch too? Yes, we just learned about Larry Storch's passing. Also shined as a voiceover actor alongside Ted Knight for many Filmation tunes. Hope his life was deservedly full as well as Caan's. Oh, okay, we're talking about Storch there. Thank you both, gentlemen. John Doe says, what can we say that hasn't been said before? You're right, his life was full of platitudes, and yeah. Sean Innes says, oh wait, forgot Rollerball. Yeah, another great movie. Charlie Jordan was going to share a quote from The Simpsons. And this is, I guess, Simpsons episode where Caan voiced a character. He says, hey, Bart, me and Mrs. Krabappel are going to go and play some backgammon, if you know what I mean. And Bart, I don't know, but I hope you win. Edna, oh, he's going to win. And then this is James Caan again. Some guys like a challenge, not me. That is pretty funny. Oh, thanks for that, Charlie. We do need to laugh on days like today, right? Ashley T says, love your channel. Thank you so much for the kind words, Ashley. I wish this live stream was bringing better news, or just doing what I normally do on my regular live streams where we celebrate all the great stuff. And we are celebrating, but it comes with a bit of sad news in that we've just learned yesterday through a tweet that James Caan had passed away on July 6th. Good Orner says, blanking on the movie Caan did with Catherine Ross and Simone Signoret in the late 60s. Can anyone help me remember? We'll look for that. Let's see. Tut Graff says Rollerball was the coolest thing when I was a kid. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty darn cool movie too. GR says my wife and I loved him in Vegas, Las Vegas, with the beautiful Cheryl Ladd. Yeah, for sure. Sherry Hinton says I was so fortunate to watch Brian's Song with my daddy, who has passed away. Yeah, isn't it wonderful to watch TV shows and movies with those that you love? I have so many special memories loved ones who have passed away, watching a particular movie or an episode of a TV show even. Let's see. Sonny says loved him in For the Boys with Bette Midler. Yeah. Imagination's Music welcome says hi. Rest in peace, James Caan. As a football fan, I absolutely loved him in Brian's Song. Don't forget his guest starring role in the shows Get Smart and Combat. Yeah. Let's see. Films 5555 said I read it was risky for Caan and Billy D to do TV's Brian's Song because TV can hurt an actor's film career. Yes, for sure. Back in that during that era, big movie stars, legitimate movie stars, didn't do a lot of television because they felt it marginalized their ability to get big roles on the in movies. DJ Mexicano de Texas says I love The Godfather. Rest in peace, James. Let's see. Danny Staten says he's going to make a YouTube short where Kirk screams Caan, and then he's going to show a picture of James looking confused. That will be fun. John Doe says going to watch Honeymoon in Vegas. That will be a fun movie to watch and have a beer, a cold beer. Well said, John. Go for it. You deserve it. I'm sure James would approve. Keith H. says Rollerball came out June 25th, 1975. Loved it. And Shadow Pop says Misery was his greatest movie. James Caan and Kathy Bates were excellent together. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Reese Rowling says I loved him in Alienation, a great science fiction film for sure. Sean Onus, this says, there was a question about a movie that he did in the late 60s with Catherine Ross, and Sean Innes is saying, is it the movie Games? Possibly. Superfan Superplex says, watched him in an episode of Naked City. He starred with Dick York of Bewitched fame and Barbara Lord, the mother of Patrick Warburton. Buck says Elf was good acting as the Giant's Elf. As Buddy, the Elf's biological father. He sure was. He was great in that movie. Shannon Burns says, thanks for reminding me of that. I'll have to watch that sometime this weekend on DVD. Yeah, you know what? That's what we all need to do, in addition to hanging out with me on this live stream. And I certainly do appreciate that, folks. I'd say let's all watch a James Caan movie this week, whether it be Misery, The Godfather, Elf. It feels a little out of season because it's a holiday movie, but let's watch something. Thief might be a good choice. Crazy Cat Woman says, I forgot Misery. And Larry Storch was in F Troop. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Shadow Pop says, Mr. Man. Yeah, I believe Thief was made by Michael Mann. Reese Rowling says Misery was awesome for sure. Chalkboy 8, Rollerball, another great James Caan film. And let's see. Supernova says, thank you, Dave, for your channel. You gathered together right now the actual James Caan community, the James Caan fans. We're all so sad for the unexpected, shocking departure. Yeah, this was absolutely unexpected. He's been active both mentally and physically in various ways. He's been active on Twitter. He has been working on movies, and so this does come as a surprise, and I suppose at some point we'll understand the nature of his passing. Right now it hasn't been formally announced, I believe. Yeah, Superplex points out he was in The Godfather Part 2 as well. John Doe says, my mom loved Alienation. It was her favorite movie, but need a fun film to watch. I think you're right. That might be the way to go, is a fun film. And Crazy Cat Woman says, it's Christmas and a July thing, going with Elf. Hey, I don't blame you. It's one of my favorite movies, and I might end up going down that route. Maybe I'll do a James Caan double feature. Imagination's Music says, I recorded Brian's Song a few years ago, so I'm going to dig that out and watch it. Good choice. Good choice. Buck says, acted with the Duke on, in the movie El Dorado. His name was Mississippi on that one. Supernova's going to rewatch Misery, and Bios to Book says Caan held his own with Wayne and Mitchum. He sure did. Sons of Katie Elder. I believe we've talked about that already a little bit. And Imagination Music says, oh yeah, I always forget he was in El Dorado. Mike Hutchins, welcome to the live stream, says, love James Caan, an actor for every man, related to all of his roles. Rest in peace, sir. All right. So I believe we're caught up in the comments. At least we're getting up the minute I say that. Let me go ahead and we'll do a couple more comments here. BK on the air, Barry King says, cameo in Mel Brooks' silent movie. Yeah, totally forgot about that. And I'm going to stop there right now. And we'll go back over to Twitter for a minute. Christopher Miller says, we were lucky enough to work with James Caan on Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. He brought a pathos and authenticity to the role of Tim Lockwood that held the film together. Rest in peace to a legend. The Empire State Building, even inanimate objects are remembering James Caan, who says, rest in peace. Thanks for letting Buddy visit you at work. Actor Brent Spiner, who's best known as Data, Lieutenant Data on Star Trek The Next Generation, says, I once passed James Caan in the commissary at Paramount Pictures. He looked me over in my Data makeup and uniform and uttered just one word. Working? Honored. Rest in peace. That's another great comment. I love these comments that are truly celebrating the life of this man and his humor. Actor Gary Sinise says, very sad to hear the news that James Caan has died. Heartbroken for his family and friends. Wonderful to know him and call him a pal. Jimmy was so supportive of the Gary Sinise Foundation and my work with our veterans. He will be missed. Thank you, my friend. Rest in peace. God bless you. Let's see what else we have. There's a fun picture from The Godfather. That's another quote from, this one's from Owen Gleiberman on James Caan. He says, what we cherish about the character isn't just how tough he was, it's how large he loomed. Oh, that's a good quote too. Spike Lee says, damn, we lost another great James Caan. Many know Jimmy from The Godfather, but please check out the work he did in Thief, directed by Michael Mann. Rest in peace, or rest in paradise. That might be the movie I watched this weekend. That's, I love Michael Mann's stuff, and I have never seen that one. All right. Let's get back to your comments. Ekiyari says he had a hilarious cameo in Silent Movie. And Supernova points out that most of his works are rewatchable. Yeah. GR says, I'm watching El Dorado this weekend. Wait a minute, Mississippi. Imagination's Music says, Billy D. Williams posted a picture of him and James on Twitter. Oh, that's awesome. Joey Baseball, welcome to the live stream, says, I don't know much about James Caan outside of his acting, and maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. It sounds like he was a heck of a human being. A great guy, a fun colleague, someone who had a wonderful sense of humor. Sometimes you may discover that you don't agree with everything that he thinks politically. Who cares? You know what? I don't want everyone in this world to think the same way I think. And so I'm not usually disappointed when I learn more about an actor and who they were or who they are. Sean Innes says, I remember looking him up. We're talking about Larry Storch there again. I'm gonna skip the Larry Storch comments since this hour is dedicated to James Caan, and we'll do something soon for Larry. Hugh Hefner said that Caan hung out at the Playboy Mansion. I have heard that. And Superfan Superplex pointed out that James Caan was in For the Boys with Bette Midler. Yeah, another great movie. Superfan Superplex says, watched Thief recently. It was worth a look. And, okay. Way back. I think Gloria posted a comment or a chat that said Alan Badillion Trahim. I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm sure. But I didn't understand it. And it was his real name in the movie El Dorado. And he also used that name in Las Vegas. Interesting. I did not know that, Gloria. Thank you. Yes, Sean Innes points out that Caan has been working and that he has a movie in post-production. He says, I hope they finished all his scenes. I believe they have. It's called Fast Charlie, and it's also stars Pierce Brosnan, another one of my favorite actors, and it's going to be released next year. Oh, let's see. GR says, loved it when he had Sylvester Stallone with him in Las Vegas. Both played old tough guys. Great memories. All right, folks. We've been going close to an hour here. And it feels like maybe time to wrap things up. So for folks that are just arriving, that maybe have only been watching the live stream for a few minutes, let me just share one more time that tweet, which says, it is with great sadness that we inform you of the passing of Jimmy on the evening of July 6th. So this came yesterday at 11:02 a.m. It's from his family using James Caan's own Twitter profile. And they say the family appreciates the outpouring of love and heartfelt condolences and asks that you continue to respect their privacy during this time. So, let me get back to the comments. We'll cover a few more comments, and then we may wrap this one up. Reese Rowling points out that he was in a racer with Schwarzenegger. And Sparky, I love the support, but I don't know if I understand this comment. Might be just down a humorous vein that I don't quite get. So I appreciate that. But I don't go down the political. I don't talk much about politics on my channel for obvious reasons. But thank you for the support again. I appreciate it. Superfan Superplex says super chat. Thank you very much for the super chat comment. Oh, Shannon, I'm glad you've enjoyed this. For me, it's therapeutic to do this, to be able to get on and do a little live stream, just to connect with fans and talk about the man's work. Like I said, I have, since a young lad, right? Since 71, really, I think probably is when I first took notice of James Caan, and that was in the television movie Brian's Song. I've been a fan. Sean Innes says, thanks for the stream and have a great weekend. You have a great weekend as well, Sean. Appreciate you hanging out with me today as we get a head start on the weekend a little bit here, huh? Link Bond 442 says James Caan may have been 5'9", but he always appeared taller. Yeah, he sure did. We may do another one for Larry, possibly tomorrow. Danny, you may be right. Oh, Superfan Superplex says, "What is a hairy guy?" Well, as someone who's not a hairy guy, I'm a little envious of that. Keith H says, thanks for doing this. It makes it much easier. Well, I'm glad you appreciate it. Like I said, I enjoy connecting and talking to fans about this kind of stuff, even when the news is sad. Tim Barnett says, I found out I was watching James Caan saving his lieutenant in The Bridge Too Far at his death. So sad. Yeah. Ashley T says, have a great weekend. You too, Ashley T. And, yeah, politics defeat the point of entertainment. Well said. Imagination's Music says, have to go now, but thanks for this. Yeah, we'll do something for Larry. I'm not sure if I'm going to publish a full-fledged video or if we'll do a live stream. I do enjoy these live streams. They're I was going to say a lot of fun. It is fun to remember an actor and his or her work. But for me, it's kind of therapeutic too. Thanks, Superplex. Oh, I see you're saying it was a super chat today. certainly was. GR says, forgot about A Bridge Too Far. Going to have to watch that one too this weekend. Yeah, let's all celebrate James Caan's life by watching some of these great movies. Good Owner says, thanks, Dave. Thanks again, Sean Innes. Going to search out the movie Games. Okay, yeah, that's a small film from the late 60s. And, might be worth checking out as well. Yes, Michael, I have heard of the passing of Larry Storch. I've tried to kind of stay on topic with James Caan. That's a tough one as well. I'm a huge Larry Storch fan. 99 years old. Good Owner says, yeah, let us know if you find it. Talking about the movie Games. Kimmy Hawk, so very sad. True. Crazy Cat Woman says, since my favorite site, Dead or Alive, shut down, I don't get to find out about these lives lost except by you. Thank you for providing this, and you are very welcome, Crazy Cat Woman. Always, like I said, it's good to connect with fans and to be able to remember that. Like, I like to think of them as these great gifts that are left behind when an actor dies and passes on. Hugh Hefner says The Misery was my favorite James Caan movie. It was a good one. Look at the talent that was there. You had, in addition to Caan, you had Kathy Bates, and then the movie was directed by Rob Reiner, and it was based on a Stephen King story, a novel. So all the elements were there for that to be a wonderful film. And James Caan and Kathy Bates, they certainly did not disappoint with their performances, right? All right, this is it. I'm going to go ahead and everybody have a great weekend. Do what we've talked about. Let's go out and watch a flick or two by this wonderful man. Find a movie that he was in. All of his performances are great. And let's celebrate his life this way. And everybody that joined me this morning, this afternoon, depends on where you are. Thank you so much, and have a great weekend.